World War II wasn't just a war of giants. While empires clashed across Europe, a neutral nation built an arsenal in the shadows, determined to protect its sovereignty at any cost. We're breaking down every Swedish tank, truck and armored vehicle engineered for one purpose: to make invasion a nightmare. This is the mechanics of armed neutrality. Here are the tanks and combat armor. Stridsvagn M/42. This was Sweden's primary medium tank and the cornerstone of its armored brigades. Weighing 22 tons and protected by up to 55 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor, it presented a formidable obstacle. Its main armament was the 75 millimeters cannon M/41, a domestically produced gun with solid anti-armor capabilities. Early models used a single Scania-Vabis engine, while the later M/42EH variant featured an innovative twin-engine setup, coupling two Volvos for increased power and redundancy. It was a slow but steady and reliable machine, designed to engage enemy armor from defensive positions across Sweden's rugged terrain. Stridsvagn M/40L. A light tank developed from the earlier L-60 design, built in greater numbers than any other Swedish tank of the era. Armed with a 37mm Bofors anti-tank gun, its primary role was reconnaissance and infantry support. With a top speed of 45 km/h and a crew of 3, it was agile but thinly armored, with maximum protection of only 15mm. Its true value was in mass production. It equipped numerous armored battalions and served as a critical training vehicle for thousands of conscripts, building the foundational expertise of Sweden's tank corps. Stridsvagn M/41. This was Sweden's designation for the Czech-designed TNHPS tank, a direct result of pre-war purchases. Known in service as the Stridsvagn M/41 SI and S2, these light tanks were armed with a 37mm A7 gun and powered by a Scania-Vabis engine. They served as a crucial stopgap, allowing Sweden to rapidly field additional armored units while domestic production of the M/42 was still ramping up. They were reliable machines that saw extensive use in training and frontline garrison duties throughout the war. Stormartillerivagn M/43. This was not a traditional tank, but Sweden's first dedicated assault gun. Mounting a powerful 105mm M/44 howitzer in a fixed limited traverse casemate on a modified M/40L chassis, it was inspired by the effective German Sturmgeschütz III. Its role was to provide direct, mobile heavy fire support to infantry, smashing fortified positions, bunkers, and strong points that regular tanks couldn't easily handle. Its low silhouette made it easier to hide and ambush from. Stridsvagn M/38 and M/39. These were the earlier variants of the technologically advanced Landsverk L-60 chassis. The M/38 introduced the torsion bar suspension to the Swedish Army, a first for any tank in service worldwide at the time. Armed with a 37mm gun and manned by a 3-man crew, they were primarily used in cavalry reconnaissance roles and for training. While obsolete by 1942, they were the vehicles on which Sweden's first generation of modern armored officers and NCOs cut their teeth. Up next, armored cars and reconnaissance. Pansarbil M/39. This heavy four-wheeled armored car was the pinnacle of Swedish reconnaissance engineering. Built by Landsverk, it featured a welded hull and a turret armed with a 20mm automatic cannon and an 8mm coaxial machine gun. Its powerful engine and robust drivetrain gave it excellent road and cross-country performance for its size. It was designed for long-range patrols along Sweden's vast borders, capable of gathering intelligence and fighting for information if necessary. Pansarbil M/31. An older, six-wheeled armored car designed from the early 1930s. It featured a riveted hull and a small turret armed with a single 6.5mm or 8mm machine gun. By World War II, its thin armor and light armament were wholly inadequate for frontline combat. However, it remained in service for internal security, guarding airfields and vital infrastructure, freeing up more modern vehicles for border defense duties. Its distinct six-wheel layout was a common sight in rear areas. Lynx, Pansarbil FM/29. This was a very early, primitive armored car design. Based on a commercial truck chassis with a simple armored body, it was armed with 1 or 2 machine guns. By the World War II period, it was completely obsolete. A handful remained in service for driver training and as liaison vehicles, a rolling museum piece that represented the infancy of Sweden's mobile armored forces. Landsverk L-180. This was a unique prototype armored car with an innovative articulated steering system. The vehicle was split into 2 halves connected by a pivoting joint, allowing it to twist and conform to rough terrain remarkably well. While only a few prototypes were built and it never entered mass production, it showcased the forward-thinking and experimental engineering culture within Swedish arms manufacturers during the period. Let's move on to artillery and anti-aircraft vehicles. Bandkanon 1 prototype. This was an audacious and advanced project. A fully enclosed, tracked self-propelled gun mounting a massive 105mm long barrel cannon. Developed by Bofors, it was one of the most powerful vehicles of its type in the world during the war. Its purpose was to provide devastating long-range indirect fire from a mobile, protected platform, able to relocate quickly after firing to avoid counter-battery fire. It directly paved the way for Sweden's famous post-war self-propelled artillery, Luftvärnskanonervagn M/40. This was Sweden's primary dedicated anti-aircraft vehicle during the war. It took the chassis of the Stridsvagn M/40L and mounted a single legendary 40mm Bofors L/60 gun in an open-topped, rotating turret. While designed to engage aircraft, its high-velocity gun was also lethal against light armored vehicles and ground targets. These vehicles would have protected armored columns and key defensive positions from the looming threat of aerial attack. LVKV FM/43. Another tracked anti-aircraft project initiated during the war. This design aimed to improve on the M/40 by housing the 40mm Bofors gun in a fully enclosed, power-traverse turret, offering the crew far better protection from weather, shrapnel, and small arms fire. Although its development was protracted and it didn't enter service until after the war, its inception during the conflict underscores the high priority placed on mobile air defense. Pansarbel M/39, 20mm Luftwaffe. A specialized variant of the standard M/39 armored car. The standard cannon turret was replaced with an open-top turret mounting a 20mm automatic cannon, optimized for the anti-aircraft role. This created a fast, mobile platform for defending motorized columns or field headquarters from strafing fighters, demonstrating a pragmatic adaptation of an existing reconnaissance asset. Now let's look at logistics and heavy cargo trucks. Volvo LV4 series/Terrangbil M/42. This was the absolute backbone of the Swedish Army, the equivalent of the American Deuce and a half. In various configurations as cargo trucks, M/42, and even as a bus, Stadsbus, these vehicles were everywhere. Their simple, rugged design, reliable engines and all-wheel drive capabilities made them perfect for Sweden's terrible roads and harsh winters. They moved infantry, towed light guns, and carried the endless supplies needed to sustain a military on high alert. Scania-Vabis TYP F10. The other half of the logistical backbone. This robust 4-ton truck served as a general cargo carrier, an artillery tractor for lighter guns, and a platform for specialized bodies. Renowned for its durability and ease of maintenance, the F-10 was the workhorse that kept battalions supplied and mobile. Alongside the Volvo, it represented a fully domestic, reliable and standardized truck fleet that was immune to wartime embargoes. Volvo TVA/TVB and Scania-Vabis TYP L10. These were the medium/heavy-duty trucks. The Volvo TVA and its successor TVB, along with the Scania-Vabis L10, were the prime movers for Sweden's heavier artillery pieces, such as the 105mm and 150mm howitzers. Their powerful engines, sturdy frames, and enhanced traction were crucial for pulling these guns in and out of firing positions across forests and fields, giving Sweden's excellent artillery its necessary mobility. Volvo TPV. A truly unique and specialized vehicle, the TPV was a tracked, articulated personnel and cargo carrier. Its 2 tracked units connected by a steering joint allowed it to traverse deep snow, thick mud, and boggy terrain that would stop any wheeled truck cold. It ensured that isolated frontline positions and observation posts in Sweden's most remote areas could be reached and supplied year-round. Scania-Vabis TYP F11 Dumper. A specialized variant of the F10 truck configured as a dump truck. These were essential for engineering and construction units building fortifications, airfield runways, roadblocks, and repairing roads damaged by military traffic. The humble dumper was a force multiplier for Sweden's defensive preparations. Finishing with special purpose and support vehicles. Berningsbandvan M/40. This was the armored recovery vehicle of the armored units. Based on the Stridsvagn M/40L chassis, it replaced the turret with a fixed superstructure housing a simple hand-cranked crane, winches, and tools. Its job was to perform field repairs, recover broken down or lightly damaged light tanks, and tow them to safety for maintenance, a vital service for keeping the armored fleet operational. Ingenjörbandvagn M/43. A dedicated combat engineering vehicle based on a tank chassis. It was equipped for a variety of tasks, carrying demolition charges, deploying mine-clearing devices, launching smoke screens, and carrying pioneer tools. It was designed to operate at the front to clear obstacles, breach fortifications, and perform other critical engineering tasks under fire, directly supporting advancing infantry and armor. Radiolastbil M/39. The Mobile Command and Signal Center. Based on a Volvo or Scania-Vabis truck chassis, it was fitted with an enlarged, specialized body containing map tables, extensive radio equipment, like the Swedish-built F-12 radio set, and workstations for signals officers and operators. These vehicles enabled divisional and regimental headquarters to remain mobile and in constant communication with dispersed units across the defensive front. Bussingen AG 900. A heavy German-designed 6x4 truck purchased in limited numbers before the war. In Swedish service, it was used primarily as a heavy artillery tractor for the very largest guns. Its importation highlights Sweden's pragmatic approach in the late 1930s, acquiring proven foreign heavy vehicles to immediately supplement its domestic motor pool during the urgent pre-war military expansion. Terrangdragbil M/40 Volvo Snab. A light, fast-tracked artillery tractor. Based on a modified tankette design, it was used to tow anti-tank guns, like the 37mm, and light howitzers. Its high speed and tracked mobility allowed gun crews to keep pace with advancing or redeploying mechanized units, ensuring they always had immediate anti-tank and fire support available. Pansarsprutbil M/40. A rare and fascinating variant, a flamethrower vehicle. It mounted a flamethrower projector in place of the main gun on a light tank or armored car chassis. Intended for clearing fortifications and strong points in defensive fighting, it was a psychological and tactical weapon for the most hardened defensive scenarios, though very few were ever converted. This was the Swedish arsenal of World War II. Not a collection of battle-hardened veterans, but a meticulously built shield. From the solid Stridsvagn M/42 to the countless Volvo and Scania trucks, each vehicle had a calculated role in a defensive ecosystem designed to make the cost of invasion catastrophically high. They were machines of pure deterrence. Their success is measured not in battles won, but in the battles that never happened. They guaranteed that Sweden's forests remained quiet, its factories kept humming, and its neutrality remained unbroken, protected by a formidable wall of steel and engineering ingenuity.